those were some good times for her. But I also think, just like you said, the ability to kind of play both spots. But I would say, there's always going to be a majority for her to play at the two.
Yeah. Are you interested in talking about the Daryl Morey situation?
Sure.
All right. Very interesting because the NBA has a reputation of being kind of the most evolved of the major male sports leagues, but they don't always follow through on that. And now you have Daryl Morey tweeting something in support of the Hong Kong protesters who were getting beat up and sprayed with water cannons in defiance of the Chinese government. Daryl tweeted something in support of the protesters. The Chinese government did not like that, and Adam Silver kind of reacted in favor of the Chinese government. Now he's trying to backpedal a little bit without really fully backpedaling. I mean, what do you make of the whole thing?
Well, I think it's one of those things that you learn about when Daryl Morey, tweeted what he thought was a very innocent tweet in support of democracy. I think what I learned, from both sides of it, one, just because something works for us doesn't mean that it has to work for everyone else. That's a piece of it. So, being careful not to judge. Obviously I'm pro-democracy. There's no doubt about that. But I also, I think it was Joe Tsai who wrote a lengthy statement about this. You have to know your history. You have to understand, and I suspect that Daryl probably doesn't know the history of it. And I think being careful in choosing, to choose democracy is not a bad thing, I think, but to, I guess maybe not fully understand, the sides of what's happening with the government, what's happening with the people. So I think if Daryl could do it again, maybe he would have more information on that. I think if Adam Silver could do it again, he might have, his second statement that he put out might have been his first statement. Because I can tell you that Adam Silver was thinking about how hard they've worked for the NBA to be in China to the extent that we are in China. And so his first reaction is, we're not losing China. And that's what I think it was a very business reaction initially. And then the blowback from politicians in a number of places to say, wait a second, you can't be, like you said, the most woke league, in our country, and then have this position against Daryl Morey, and even Houston's owners, I thought distanced themselves from it.
They did.
But it was in the name of $1. It was not in the name of, what I think Daryl Morey's, concern was, which is for the people of China. But I don't live in China, so I don't really know the plight of the people. And so for me, I don't have a side in this. I would want to know far more. I know what we see on TV. It doesn't look very good. But we also know that, media can control, what we see and the perception of it. I've had a player from China. And there were, it didn't appear to me, to, be concerns, but I would want to know more. I'd want to sit down and talk to Xiao and learn from her. What are the sides? What is this reason? What is that? And I've always been, I want to understand it, on a bigger level. But I suspect that Adam Silver, Daryl Morey, the ownership in Houston, none of them probably fully understand. They were very concerned about the dollars coming into the NBA.
And there are billions of dollars over there, and they love the NBA over there.
Well, that's my thing. So they're blacking out things of the NBA. Who is that hurting? I get that there's the money side of it. The NBA is an iconic brand. We're going to be global, whether we're in China or not. I think it's the people of China that are going to be affected by some of their boycotts of streaming. The Houston Rockets, you're going to boycott that. Well, it's going to be a lot of people that want to watch the Houston Rockets that are going to say, hey, wait a second, and so I'm not sure who it really hurts, but other than, again, the people of China.
When I covered the Beijing Olympics, the NBA players were the biggest stars in the Olympics. And probably even more popular than like Usain Bolt, people like that. I mean, they are into it.
Yep. And Maya Moore, the popularity of Maya Moore. It was crazy over there. So it's unfortunate, and we have so many problems here at home, that, focusing on, the things that we can do, in terms of, civil rights, like today, the rights of LGBTQ people are being decided, whether that should be included. It was so much that we could focus on here, that China's
Well, that is a very good point. We do have many of our own problems, and some of our problems are really scary. I'm not going to ask you about her every week, but you brought up Maya. Anything new with Maya? Have you talked to her?
No, I just know there's a date pending here soon, maybe in the next couple of days, where she'll get to learn kind of the fruits of her labor in terms of the evidentiary hearing that they're fighting for Jonathan Irons to be able to take place. And so that's kind of the next thing we're watching and rooting for with Maya. And, I think that's another step for her. And just take it one step at a time.
Let's get a final thought from Cheryl. We do have a deal with Bitesquad. Use the promo code TALKNORTH for your first delivery fee waived. Use it after that because they deliver restaurant quality food to your door, and it looks like it just came out of the kitchen. Morning, noon, night, snacks, ice cream, home, office, wherever you like. Bitesquad, bitesquad.com, promo code TALKNORTH. We'll get you the first delivery fee waived. But after that, go to bitesquad.com. They always have deals popping up or monthly memberships or whatever. So check out bitesquad.com, Bitesquad the app. What's your final thought for today?
Just wanted to share a little bit about the time that I spent with Sylvia Fowles and Nafisa Collier with USA Basketball over in Puerto Rico.
I probably should have led with that.
Yeah.
But let's hear about it today, and maybe we'll get even more into it later.
Yeah, because there's another, the expanded national team program is going to be one that is going to allow me to see whether Syl wants to or not. I'll see a lot more of Syl and Nafisa, hopefully, throughout the offseason, in that there's new qualification system that we're already qualified for the Olympics, but we're going to participate in each of these separate competitions. And so right now we're competing in the Americas, so the FIBA Americas, which was just in Puerto Rico. We got gold medal there at the America Cup. And then we're also going to have another segment in November where we're going to, it's still Americas. I'm not going to say I fully understand why we're doing what we're doing, but we will now go to Argentina and we'll face, actually it's three of the same teams we just faced in the pool in Puerto Rico. We're going to have to go through that system, hopefully win that. And then another one in February. But before each of these, we're going to be on a college tour. We're going to have a chance to play some college teams as a lead up. So just an expanded program. I think we talked about this. There's a core 8 players that USA Basketball has committed to, and they've committed to the national team program to be at each of these events in the name of having some consistency in training as we lead up into Tokyo. So Syl played great. Syl was the MVP over there. I'll tell you what, Damiris Dantas played great. It was so much fun.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was so much fun watching her, being in the stands and, even playing against her. Every time she got open for 3, it was like, don't leave her open from 3. And even Nafisa, just to kind of see her growth. And it's a great chance to see other players from, other areas around the world. You can look at, some value in that in terms of free agency and, even seeing some WNBA players up close and personal, getting to know them. So it was a really good group, really a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to the next segment in November.
And you'll be there, obviously, right?
In November?
Yeah.
I will be. Yeah.
That's why you're locked into this.
Yeah. So Dawn and Jen Rosati, our 2 college coaches, are going to be obviously with their teams. And so it'll be Dan Hughes and I that will be taking Dawn's system and making sure that, the team is advancing in the ways that she wants us to advance. So big responsibility for Dan and I, but we're looking forward to it.
Cool. Well, the great thing about the off season is there's still lots of basketball to talk about, but we can also delve into all kinds of other stuff. We can go off some tangents. We will start taking some Twitter questions from you all too, and we'll start looking for if Cheryl's up for it, we'll start looking for a live venue because we like doing live shows and just seeing people during the off season. So we appreciate everybody. Thanks to Brandon, our producer. Thanks to all of our listeners. Follow us at Talk North Pod on Twitter. It's a great way to keep up with all the shows and all the live show announcements and some goofiness. Talk North Pod on Twitter. Of course, you can follow Cheryl and myself on Twitter as well. We do appreciate it. And we'll talk to you next week.